Welcome to Business Blitz, skills, strategies and insights to guarantee you and your business grow. On our panel today, we have Andrew Simmons from Vision Personal Training, Rachel Bourke from Sales Space and Geoff Roberson from Champion Legal. Absolutely fabulous to have you all here again today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are talking about one of the most critical aspects of business that you need to know about, and it is the difference between cash flow and profitability. How is it that you can look at your P&L and see that you've made money in a certain segment of a month or a quarter, and yet there's no money in the bank? Today, our panel are going to be sharing with you strategies you can implement to ensure that that money is in the bank, and we're going to start with Andrew Simmons from Vision Personal Training. Cash flow has always been a problem in the health and wellbeing personal training sector. What did you do to overcome it?
Well, we went from basically pay-as-you-go service, where people would come in and pay us over the counter for the personal training sessions, to then going on to direct debit. That totally changed our business. Often people would come in and say, I forgot my wallet today, can I fix you up next time? And then they cancel a session within the cancellation period, so therefore when they came in for the third session, they actually owe us for 3 sessions. You know, and that would happen, and then of course, things get in the way, and they never turn up again. So therefore we'd have bad debts. And as soon as we went to a direct debit system where people paid for the service and then they used it for the fortnight, then they paid again, then used, in a contract sense, it totally changed our business model and went from us being in deficit to actually being positive cash flow consistently.
So let me ask you, did it impact sales? So did revenue change as well, or was it just a management of the money?
It was a management of the money. And I actually think by putting, in our industry anyway, by having someone go on a contract, it's actually a sign of readiness. And it's a sign that they're actually committed to what they're about to do. If someone says they just want to give it a go and pay as you go, you often know they're actually not ready to change. Therefore, they won't get results. Therefore, we won't get referrals, and therefore grow.
So better business all round.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Geoff, in legal services, how do you overcome cash flow problems?
With great difficulty.
Share your wisdom.
It's an expensive service often, and that brings with it problems, but we've had to address that, and certainly it's about being frank with the clients up front, saying this is the work to be done, this is our estimate of what it's going to cost, and for us to, if you want us to do the work, then these are our terms, and that requires money up front. We have to have money in the trust account. We make it clear that we bill regularly. Sometimes in the past, lawyers would not bill for months, and then all of a sudden you get a huge bill, which people just could not meet. Poor business, but those days have long gone. There was a lot of cash cows in legal work many years ago with repetitive work like personal injury, conveyancing, that type of. It's all disappeared. So really, it's a matter of looking at every job very carefully as it comes in, assessing what needs to be done, what resources need to be applied, and then coming to an agreement with the client to be paid for the work, but to have a credit, to have the money in the trust account before you start. And if the client doesn't keep that topped up, then you really have to say, well, look, sorry, we have to be paid as we go, or else we don't work.
And what I hear, one of the key points from Geoff is analysing your outputs, what it's going to cost you to do business with that person very carefully before you go in to offer them some sort of agreement or contract. And from what I heard from both of you was this idea of getting agreement from the client up front.
Absolutely.
Isn't it?
Totally.
So that there's no grey area, there's nothing that can be argued over later on down the track. So there's the agreement, there's money coming in. So again, revenue hasn't actually changed. It's just a shift in when you're getting that money through the bank, and that makes a difference to business.
Exactly.
Rachel, hello.
Hello.
I'm so thrilled that you went off a 7 weeks holiday over Christmas.
Me too.
What I really want to know is, as a business owner, how do you cash flow that?
Okay, really easily actually. It's I always do what these gentlemen have been talking about. So it's always been paid up front for me. So people are either paying up front for their service or they're on direct debits. And so I have many people on those that just tick over year after year. So that is fantastic for cash flow. But also I have strategically planned certain events and product launches in my business whereby when I know I'm about to have a very large holiday, school holidays at the end of the year, for instance, then I will have a very big event at the end of November, which is a huge cash flow injection into my business, which makes my holiday way more fun. And also I'm very clear on what my expenses are, and this is what comes back to sales actually. When you know exactly how much you have to make, then you know exactly what sales you also need to make so that there's a vast difference in those two figures.
Yep.
You know, so it's always if I was to double that or more, then wow, okay, let's go.
Yep. And what I can see with Rachel is planning. So being able to forecast what cash is going to be coming into the business or what cash isn't going to be coming into the business, and planning around that. Yeah?
Absolutely. And that goes with tax as well.
Yes.
Often people get caught with their BAS.
Yeah.
You know, they go and spend all the money, but they had to have put it aside. They don't tend to do that, whether it's superannuation as well.
Yeah.
You know, finally, you've got to know your key dates for your tax dates, and everyone in business should know what those dates are on a quarterly basis and prepare for it.
And does every business owner need to know that, or is it okay if their accountant or their bookkeeper knows it for them?
No, I think they can't rely on that. A lot of people think that your accountant's going to take care of everything for you. I've been someone who did that and got myself into a payroll tax problem.
Yep.
Not having any idea about payroll tax, thought my accountant would look after that.
Yep.
And then found myself with a $40,000 payroll tax bill.
Yeah,
you know, that was my fault.
I was taught when I was first in business, so at the age of 22, pay yourself, and then pay yourself, put money away for tax, and then and pay your superannuation, and then you've got spare money if you want to do whatever you want to do.
Absolutely.
With it. But there's three things must be paid first.
And there's a difference between abdication versus delegation. So you don't have to be doing it yourself, but you have to have an awareness and a knowledge so that you're delegating and you're delegating effectively.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we must take full responsibility for
Yeah.
our own cash.
Okay, so that is cash flow. Some strategies for you to take on board. Get paid up front. Make sure you have upfront agreements with people. Understand your cash flow cycle so that you can prepare events, make sales in order to make up for that cash flow deficit. This has been Business Blitz. Make sure that you tune in next week for some other insight, strategies and skills to guarantee that you grow your business.